This brief video will focus on the nutrition topic for Lesson 2 of Super Kids. In this video, we'll review something many of you are familiar with, and that is the nutrition facts label. Here is an example of a nutrition facts label. Let's talk about some of its components. We hope that by guiding you through the components, you would be able to use it to make healthy eating decisions. The first part of the nutrition facts label is the serving size. Each label is based on one serving size, and the servings per container on this label refers to the total amount of servings in the entire package. So, for example, on this label, all the numbers that are listed, so your calories, your carbohydrates, your protein, for example, refer to 1 cup of the package or the serving size. In total, however, there are 2 servings per container. So if you consume the entire package, you would be receiving twice the amount of nutrients as listed on the label. It's important to keep this in mind because although a nutrition facts label may say an X amount of calories or nutrients, that it is only representative of 1 serving and not the entire amount of the package. The next part of the label is calories, which are a measure of energy. Remember, the calories listed on a label are based on 1 serving and not the entire package. So, for example, if the nutrition label states 300 calories for 1 serving of 2 cookies and you eat 4 cookies, you consumed 600 calories. Now we will discuss key nutrients of the nutrition facts label. The first part is total fat. This indicates the amount of fat in each food product. And it's important to keep in mind when choosing food products to pick those that are low in saturated fat and trans fat, as these increase your risk of developing heart disease. It is recommended to choose foods that are good sources of unsaturated fat, so you have mono unsaturated and polyunsaturated, as these types of fat promote your health and decrease blood cholesterol. There are many questions today about fat, so we hope to discuss this more with you all later on in Lesson 6. The next key nutrient is carbohydrate. On a nutrition facts label, the fiber and sugar content in 1 serving is listed, but the starch is not. This explains why the sum of fiber and sugar does not always equal the total carbohydrate content within a package. It is recommended to choose whole grain items rather than refined grains, as whole grains decrease your risk of disease and promote fullness. Whole grains can be identified through the ingredient list provided within each food package. You can also use the ingredient list to avoid added sugars, such as sucrose, glucose, fructose, and syrup, as they typically lack important nutrients like vitamins and minerals. We will discuss this more in detail in our carbohydrate lesson, which is Lesson 4. The last key nutrient is protein. So on the nutrition facts label, the number you see indicates the total amount of protein per serving. It is important to vary your protein routine when choosing food products, and that means to include plant sources, such as nuts, seeds, and not just animal sources. The ingredient list will give you more information on what type of protein is included in the food product. Now, one of the most important components of the nutrition facts is vitamins and minerals. Consuming appropriate amounts of these nutrients allows your body to function properly and prevent diseases. Examples of vitamins include A and C, and minerals include iron, calcium, and potassium. Food items that have high amounts of vitamins and minerals are typically known as nutrient-dense foods. They are not only rich in vitamins and minerals, but they are also not too high in calories and have less saturated fats and added sugars. For example, say you're having a hard time choosing a cereal. Both have 300 calories per serving, but one contains more vitamins, minerals, and fiber and less added sugar. This option is a more nutritious food choice. So, like I said previously, vitamins and minerals are essential for our body to function. However, one mineral that we should consume less is sodium. Consuming low amounts of sodium reduces our risk of developing high blood pressure, And it's important to keep this in mind when evaluating and reading through nutrition facts labels. Lastly, the percent daily value is also part of the nutrition facts label. These percentages can be useful when comparing food products. If a nutrient has a percentage greater than 20%, that means that the food product is a high source of that nutrient. So for example, on this particular nutrition facts label, it says 20% calcium. That means it's a high source of calcium. On the other hand, if it is less than 5%, that means that the food product is a low source of that nutrient. So again, for example, dietary fiber, it says 0%. That means it is a low source of fiber. Remember that this number refers to only one serving of the food product, so it's important to always refer to the total amount of servings in the entire package. In summary, we discussed 5 components of the nutrition facts label: a serving size and amount of servings, calories, key nutrients such as total fat, carbohydrates, and protein, vitamins and minerals, and the percent daily value. It is recommended to choose food products that are nutrient dense, so again, that offer higher amounts of nutrients like vitamins and minerals compared to energy and calories. It is also recommended to limit foods that are high in added sugars and sodium, as they typically do not have much nutritional value. A way to determine if a food product is high or low source of nutrient is to look at the percent daily value. We encourage you to use the nutrition facts label as a tool when selecting food products.